and Congressman Ro Khanna last night on the show, he mentioned one Republican in particular, Glenn just mentioned him, who wanted to form an alliance.
If you view China as our biggest strategic competitor in the 21st century, then these policies aren't what's going to allow America to win and compete. So this is Matt Gaetz shares this view. There are people on the Armed Services Committee who shares this view. This is really not partisan. It's about making sure America leads the 21st century.
And Congressman Gaetz joins us now. Congressman, how big of a coalition could you guys form on these key issues of trade, on the war stuff, other issues I mentioned, Made in America? How influential could you all be?
I believe that the coalition will be larger in the next Congress than in the last Congress, based on the influence that Donald Trump has had on the Republican Party and on the types of candidates that he has inspired to run for Congress. Remember, I mean, we are a coalition that lost in this last round of national defense authorization discussions because the pro-war Democrats worked together with the neoconservative Republicans like Liz Cheney. And while Ro Khanna and Tulsi Gabbard and I offered resistance to the endless wars, we did not prevail in that endeavor. But I figure, Laura, it took the establishment in both parties to get us in this war and in multiple wars. Why not work together across the aisle to get out of them? And I also think there's a generational piece here. Young people are weary of these wars. They've been going on almost all of our adult lives, and I think that perhaps generationally we may be able to bridge some of those divides.
Yeah, they have no problem with bipartisanship when it advances their interests or their views. But boy, they don't want you to work with Khanna or, heaven forbid, any members of the squad. I mean, they hate Trump. They hate me. They have, fine, okay? We disagree on everything. But my
I don't
goodness,
think they're wild about me either.
Yeah, they don't like, but so what? I mean, you have to work with people to get anything done if you don't have the numbers. So I don't get this stay in your corner mentality. It's idiotic.
We have to remember that Donald Trump won by challenging the establishment in both parties, not just the Democratic Party. And now it appears that Joe Biden wants to serve as the valet for the establishment in both parties. Glenn touched on it, but there needs to be a seventh item on your bipartisan populist agenda from your monologue. We need to defang the PACs and special interests in Washington, D.C. who own Congress, or none of this will change. I'm the only Republican in the whole Congress who won't take any PAC money from anybody. And I invite my Republicans to join me. Ro Khanna was one of the people who inspired me to do this because he's done it as well on the left. And it's very liberating to not have to run around Washington, D.C. doing the bidding of lobbyists. And that actually gives you more time to work together on the issues that can move the country forward.
Okay, noted. That's in the agenda. How fun would it be to draft that up and work to get progressives and Trump conservatives together on these issues that President Trump, frankly, is responsible for moving the public on? 74 million people voted for him, for goodness sakes. How great would it be to put that in a draft document and start getting votes for it and support?
Well, we absolutely need to do it, because if you look at the type of people that Joe Biden wants to put in the cabinet for our country, it is a reversion back to the establishment. He acts like he's reaching for Republicans, but he's reaching in all the wrong places. He wants the trade policy of Paul Ryan, and he wants the defense national security policy of Dick Cheney. Those have been rejected, and so I think that it's more important than ever for populists on the right and populists on the left to fight against the establishment when they want to invade every country, invite every illegal alien to cross our borders, and impoverish every town in our country with trade deals that screw Americans so that some folks on Wall Street can have better quarterly earnings.
All right, well, Congressman, I hope you and Congressman Khanna continue working together, and just thank you for sharing this on the show tonight. We really appreciate it.
This is Congressman Matt Gaetz. If you like that video, make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on social media, and join us on our daily podcast, Hot Takes with Matt Gaetz, on your favorite podcast listening platform.